Hey everybody, what's up? I'm Frankie Biggz. Thank you for stopping by. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, like, and put the notification bell on so you know the next time I drop one of these videos. Okay, let's get into this. Season 1, Episode 3, Are You Sure? All right. First I want to say a couple things before we get into my, thoughts on this episode is the BTS Army has spoken. And you guys have taught us some lessons, me and my wife. So I've got a few announcements to make. One, I'm definitely going to do the guide, the BTS guide. I had toted the idea that we were going to do it live, and that didn't go well. Everybody was telling me, please don't do it live. So we're not going to do it live, but we're not going to do it until I'm back in my studio in Barcelona. I'm still on vacation here, and we're still here for one more week. So after that week, we'll definitely be doing that BTS guide, and we're going to do a world premiere of it, and where you guys can stop by, and we'll be online watching it with you. So you can ask me questions, we can talk, chat it up, you can yell at me, do whatever it is that you need to do. But we're definitely going to be there. So we'll let you know. Keep your eye on my shorts, and we'll announce exactly what time we're going to do that. The second thing is I'm sorry, I guess we make an apology. We're not going to be soliciting for subs the way that we did it, as far as if I reach 300, I'm going to do it, 3,000, I'm going to do this and that. I'm sorry if that offended anybody. You're absolutely right. We shouldn't be doing that. We're not going to do that anymore. Please forgive me. It's my idea, not even my wife. So she wasn't really like, she was kind of lukewarm, and I was the one who pushed the issue. So please forgive me, and we're not going to do it that way. We just, we're growing our channel, and that's all we need is your help for that to happen. Okay, so moving on. Episode 3, Are You Sure? Well, we didn't know where they were going to be, right? They were in the upper parts of New York there. And then it looks like they went to a place called Jeju Island, which my understanding is an island that is somewhere off the coast of Korea, right? So looks like a really, really beautiful spot. By the way, if I'm wrong in my location, please don't roast me. Just tell me where it's at. But that's what I thought when we looked it up. Beautiful island, to be quite honest with you. I thought they'd gone to my neck of the woods here in Spain. It actually started looking like Ibiza for a second. I thought, boy, that would be cool. These guys going to Ibiza. But this island looked really, really cool. And of course, first things first, eating. Man, these guys can eat. But somewhere along the line, even before they even got there, V decided to join them. So it was my first time at getting a good look at V. And we're going to be actually doing his Tiny Desk concert here pretty soon in this series. So I got a good chance to take a look at the dude and kind of see how he interacts with Jimin and JK. And to be quite honest with you, he seemed to be a little wound up. You know what I mean? The dynamic that they gave was that, like, oh, this dude, you know what I mean? Like, he's flying, he's decided to join us. Like, he's going to crash their little vacation party. So I don't know how much of this is pre-scripted or anything, and if it is at all. But Jimin and JK didn't look like they were too thrilled that he was going to be around. Not that they were obvious with it, but there was just a little, you could tell there's some tension. And so when V showed up, it was kind of like, okay, it gave me this dude, because I think it was JK. No, it was Jimin that said, go back to Seoul. You don't have to do this. You can go back to Seoul. So I like how they do that to each other, where they're very honest, very brutal as far as what they're thinking. And so they put it out there, but then they kind of like fluff it over with laughter. And I'm just joking. But I could tell that there was some seriousness. Like, hey, if you don't like this, then, go back to Seoul. So it just seemed like V was very, I don't want to say uptight, but that's what it kind of reminded me. Like he was uptight. So as it goes along, I mean, you can see that kind of follows them into eating and everything else because he was very picky or whatever it was. Anyways, that was my first thing. My first action with V was like, as a person, he looks a little wound up, a little uptight. But as obviously as the episodes go further, you know, or as the episode goes on, you get the idea that he kind of chills out a little bit. But he's just very, hey, don't talk like that to each other. There was a part where these guys were saying this, like typical banter between Jimin and JK, and homie from the back is like, hey, don't talk to each other. Don't talk to me like that. Like, it was just really an odd, you know, like, wow, man, nothing like really changing the air in the cabin of the car. But again, they got through it. And so I would say that he was joking, but it's really weird. And he probably was. But the way that he joked with them is not the peaceful dynamic that JK and Jimin, you know, because JK, Mr. Jimin, you know what I mean? I think that's funny too, that he calls him Mr. Jimin. So it just seemed like V was kind of like, I'm here, you know what I mean? And don't talk to him like that, or don't talk to him, and you went faster than me, you black. There was just a lot of, seemed like just low-key bitching, you know what I mean? He's very bitchy. So that was my introduction to V. So is he somebody that I would want to hang out with? I don't like hanging around with people who are like low-key bitchy and negative, right? So I don't know, but he's probably a really nice dude. But in that setting, it just looked like, I'm here, kiss my ass. You know what I mean? That was kind of the attitude that he had. Other than that, man, when they were eating chimi, now, I don't know what that red monstrosity was that they were eating. My wife looked it up and said that it's some form of cabbage. So, but it looked delicious. So you guys have to tell me, what is it, and is it really as good? Because these guys look like they were having orgasms when they started eating this stuff. And even me, I'm like, wow. I mean, that is weird looking to me, but seems like I could smash that. And they did. They smashed that thing like big time, man. So I don't know. It just seemed like good food. And of course, they're always eating. And I did think it was funny that I think it was V that chased JK, right? Was it V that chased JK with the little...
Jimin.
It was Jimin? Jimin chased whom?
I think Jimin was chasing V.
Chasing V, saying, eat your little burrito? Yeah. That was funny. And he didn't have shoes on and all that stuff, so... Again, it was lighthearted, you know what I mean? I just didn't, it was a weird thing. I couldn't really get my bearings set on the individual that is V. And then, of course, Jimin, poor guy, man, just sick. I mean, the whole time these guys were eating, Jimin's just sitting there like, looking like, I'm sick physically and I'm sick mentally because, man, I wish I could be smashing this food, because I know that Jimin smashes big time food. So yeah, poor guy just kept getting sicker and sicker. And man, I know how it feels, because yesterday that actually happened to me. The very same thing that happened to him is exactly what happened to me yesterday. And I'm still struggling right now. I don't know what it was that I ate, but we were on our way to the summer, or the a mountain house there that my wife has and her family. And usually it's a really, really good time because it's beautiful scenery, beautiful house. But on the way up there, same thing that happened to Jimin, like, all of a sudden my gut started moving around. I'm like, what is happening? And by the time we got there, because it's about a 45-minute drive, just like Jimin, man, I was like, whoa, I'm hungry, but I feel like if I eat anything, it's going to be bad. And especially, we were eating tacos. So imagine that. Right? You've got this mix of Mediterranean food and then Mexican food, tacos. So it was pretty bad. So I understood homie when I came home and I watched. I was like, poor guy. Other than that, there was a water gun fight, which I thought was cool, because in the end, it was Jimin who got both guns. And then, of course, they didn't lighten up on him. Poor guy is literally out on the ground, and one shooting his butt and the other one is shooting his head, and he just sits there. And then when he gets the gun, because the old saying, it's never fun when the rabbit's got the gun, right? So when Jimin had the gun and these guys were literally begging for their lives, please, I'll make it up to you. Don't do this to me. Yeah, but you didn't care if he was, when you guys were pelting him. So I thought it was good comeback. It was really cool to see them do that. And that house was so cool. What I just didn't understand was why they all had to sleep in the same room. Like, there's this huge house and you know that there's other bedrooms, but whatever. I guess Jimin and JK are definitely used to sleeping in the same room, but I just thought it was funny that they gave homie the bed on the ground. He's like, yeah, that's perfect for you. Exactly. Since you just, decided to just come in on your own, there you go. You get to sleep on the floors. You don't get the same amenities. But I don't know if you guys caught it in the background. Did you see all the food? All that food they had in the back. They had chips. They had noodles. They had everything. Beer. That's the other thing I meant to say. Man, those boys can drink. Especially Jimin. Jimin really puts them away. Shit, man. Other than that, the last scene was the rock climbing scene, which was really cool. That's some hard shit to do. I have a little funny story. At one time I used to be a bodybuilder and I had all these muscles and everything. And I went to one of these rock climbing places at a place called Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. And it's the most embarrassing shit. They put this harness on me, and I got my muscles and everything. Man, I didn't get past the second peg. I ain't got no strength at that time when it came to trying to get myself up. Even with a harness, man, my fat ass just couldn't get up there, man. It was crazy. So when I see Jimin and these guys, just literally 15 seconds, I think, JK, to get to the top and push the bell. And then Jimin, I think, went up and it was like 21 seconds. I'm like, man, I was like not even able to get past the second rung. So those guys are just like built, again, they're built like athletes. I really do respect that. Other than that, it just kind of came to a close really quickly, pretty abruptly. Like, it was just like, boom, it was over, credits and everything. So that's my whole thing. It was, I think the second episode for me was a little more fast paced and it was a little better, but yeah. Third episode was cool. It was very interesting. Interesting to see now where they're going to go this next time. And if they're taking V or if somebody else is going to crash it or if it's just going to be them. Personally, I think it's cool if it's just those two guys because they have their own agenda. They have their own connection and it just seems to work. When V came, you can tell that they're a group and they're really close brothers and friends and everything. But that wasn't the dynamic anymore. You know what I mean? Now it's like, 2 is a couple, 3 is a crowd. And that's exactly the feel that I got. Other than that, it was great. I can't wait to get to the next one. And really, that's all I have to say about it. I think it's awesome. I think this series is definitely worth watching. Any of you in the United States that don't know about this series, catch it, man. If you just want to sit down, relax at the end of the night and watch these two guys clown around, it's actually quite amusing. It's interesting. It's good fun. So, in any event, I'll leave it at that. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, like, and put the notification bell on so that you know the next time I drop one of these videos. And thank you for stopping by. And of course, keep the comments coming. And that's that. Oh, by the way, do not forget the purple heart in the comments, keeping track of those. Now, that is something that I will stand on. We are cooking something up for the end of the year or at the top of the year. I don't know. We just might be coming to Korea. That's the only little thing I'm going to tell you. That's all I can tell you. I'm not going to tell you anymore. Again, these are plans, but put that purple heart in the comments and we'll talk to you soon. Peace out.